listening to the Howard Stern Show. Once again, Howard Stern.
So there's this dude on the phone who's calling us from San Jose. He listens to us. He's in jail for killing his girlfriend.
Really?
Well, he's on trial. He's going to be going to trial.
Did he kill her?
Well,
he'll tell you.
Yeah. Dude, you there?
Hello, Mr. Stern?
Yeah, he's really in jail, and he's, because we asked him what time it was, he had asked his CO, which is his corrections officer. What, you got TV in that cell?
No, I got into some trouble. I threw some fecus on one of these dudes and a couple cells over, and they moved me down to the end cell so I can't have a television.
Why'd you throw feces? I think he means feces.
We got into an argument over the television.
You mean feces, right?
Yeah.
So you went to the bathroom and threw it on some guy?
Yeah.
I think you're in the right place.
Yeah.
To be
All
quite
right,
honest.
this is Robin. I can't remember your middle name.
I feel you.
I can't believe that people are allowed to listen to us in jail.
Yeah, what do they have, individual phones in the cells now?
No, you get a cart wheeled up to your cell, and you get 20 minutes on the phone.
Oh, so we only got 20 minutes with
No, well, I mean, the thing gives you 20 minutes, and then it cuts off, and you have to recall if you want to talk. It's robbery.
It's robbery.
You know the law, don't you?
Yeah.
You put in jail. I'm serious.
Dude, so how long you been sitting in jail?
I've been here a little over a year.
All right, now, what happened between you and your girlfriend? Now you gave a confession to the police?
Okay, yeah. I'll try to make it short. I went and I was laying tile for the union, and I started messing around with that cocaine, and started getting smoked out, going out and I get like $1,100 a week, and I go home. By the end of the weekend, I'd be broke. And after that, one night I had taken some acid and smoking some crack, slipped out, and I cut my fiance's head off, almost completely off.
Oof.
You cut your fiance's head off?
Yeah.
Oh, so you admit to doing it?
Yeah, but I wasn't.
So what's the trial about? He's guilty.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
I wasn't in the right state of mind. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely not.
I was all messed up on drugs.
The trial is about whether he was out of his mind and did it, or whether he planned and did it. If he planned and did it,
lying in wait.
he could get the death penalty.
Either way, you get the death penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, you're probably gonna have to pay for it, dude.
You sound
No,
like
I know that, and I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying?
you just don't want to die.
No, I mean, if that be the case, then so be it. You know what I mean? I was raised in a good family. My dad's a dentist. We're all from back east. My parents live back there.
Yeah.
And
I guess they're real proud of you, huh?
no, not really.
Yeah. Are they even talking to you?
I talked to my mom last February. We got into a fight, but I talked to my dad. I called him at the office, and he's the one that's paying for my attorney.
Had you thought about doing it before you actually did it?
No, and that's where the prosecutor wants to come in and say, hey, this is premeditated. Dude was laying there, because we had just got done making love, woo-woo-woo.
Oh, boy.
How come you chopped her head off, though? Like, what did she do that you chopped her head off?
We had made love.
Right.
We were doing the wild thing, and then we went in the shower, and the last thing I remember was just rocking her in my arms.
Rocking her in your arms?
With no head.
Yeah.
And she had no head while you were rocking her in the arms?
Yeah. It sounds crazy, I know, because you get some real crazy people, but...
Not this crazy.
This is about the crazy. I thought Fred was crazy.
I think you win the prize.
Yeah, you might be the craziest guy we ever had call.
Really?
That's a pretty crazy story. And then how old was the girl?
She's 32. And I'm 27.
And her parents are flipping out, obviously.
Her dad is also a dentist.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? I just think you sound a little too, nonchalant about murder.
No, Robin, it's just like after a while, there's been, I talk to psychologists and stuff here, and I have my own that comes up and visits me. After a while, you just, they put you on medications and stuff like that, and for like the first 5-6 months, I would have nightmares and stuff like that. I wouldn't be able to sleep.
What'd you do it with?
You're going through different court proceedings, and you're hearing different things, and
What'd you
used to it after a while.
What'd you chop her head off with?
What's that?
What'd you chop her head off?
Knife.
A knife?
Supposedly, yeah.
Where'd you get the knife?
I got from the kitchen.
You were in the shower.
I know, but we had went back. She had jumped in the shower. I didn't go to the shower. And I went to the kitchen, and when she came back, it just all happened.
That's a pretty wild drug, that coke, huh?
And the acid on top of it.
Acid, too.
He wasn't snorting coke, he was smoking it.
Oh, you were smoking the
It was
coke?
crack,
Yeah, smoking crack.
Oh. On acid.
$1
You were smoking crack on acid.
Did you have anything to drink?
No, I wasn't. None.
No, he doesn't believe in drinking.
That would be mixing too many drugs.
Or smoking pot like Jackie.
How much acid did you do?
What's that?
How much acid did you
I
do?
dropped 4 hits.
Oh, man.
You could tell him about that.
I did 4 hits.
It was purple mic?
Mine was window pane.
Window pane?
No, mine was blotter acid, actually.
Was it blotter acid?
Yeah. So,
So you called to say don't do drugs? Or something?
that's a definite no-no. Don't mix acid with crack.
No, I've just tried. I've always tried to get a hold of you. I've been listening to you for years, and I'm just trying to get a hold of you and see that if somebody would accept from the radio station, if they accept the correct call. Now, I've been calling there for a while. I was driving Stuttering John and Gorilla.
How old are you?
Driving them all crazy.
How old are you?
27.
27?
27.
And where was her head when you were rocking her?
I can't even remember. Hey, you gonna drink that milk, man? Oh, it's already open? I don't want to. All right, man. That's a trustee. He just walked out. He services our food.
Was that a black dude? What are you, white dude?
Yeah, I'm white. But I talk like a black dude. I sing like a black dude, too. They call me a wigger.
Good.
Yeah.
It's good to try to act, black when you're in prison.
Yeah.
Might live longer.
Can I ask you
Well,
a
no,
question?
it's more Mexicans out here.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Have you been approached by anybody for sex?
No, well, see, you only come out. See, it's like being on death row. You're in your cell 24 hours a day. You come out for 3 hours a week. 2 different days. You get an hour and a half, hour and a half. And
3 hours a week?
From head to toe.
Sounds like my life at home.
And you're And
You know what? I just don't think I'd want to live if I'd killed somebody.
And Robin, if I could turn around and change it, and if I could ask God to bring Deborah back, I would, but I can't. You know what I mean?
Dude, you're gonna die.
I'm not like OJ, I'm not gonna say that, I didn't do it.
Right.
I did do it, but I wasn't in the right state of mind. I had no reason. We were planning on getting married this March.
Now, why did you confess? I mean,
Because I was always raised not to lie to people.
And did they come and arrest you right away? Were you sitting there with her?
No. Well, what happened was I had took off to San Francisco.
Right. Now, after you chopped off your girlfriend's head, you said, "Hey, I better get out of town."
Well, I'm only about 40 minutes away from San Francisco.
All right. So after you chopped off her head, what did you do? You got dressed and went home?
I went to her dad's office.
You went to her dad's office.
Yeah, and I went in the safe.
Yeah, well, you don't want to tell somebody this over the phone.
Right.
No, but it's okay because it's already down on paper too.
No, but let me get this straight.
Okay.
After you killed her, you didn't call the cops on yourself, did you?
No.
No. So you get up and where do you go after you murder somebody?
I went to the office, took about $1,000.
Oh, you robbed your father.
And I took her mom's car.
Right. So you robbed her.
I take my motorcycle, so I was already tore up.
So after you killed her,
right.
You robbed her dad and robbed her mother.
The only thing left was did you rape her sister?
Yeah, and then you didn't want to take your motorcycle because you once got hurt on a motorcycle?
No, I was all tore up.
He was, I don't know, I guess still out of it.
You were still messed up. So you figured you better drive a car.
Yeah, so
rather than a motorcycle.
Right.
I know it sounds gay and everything, but
all right, that's cool. Sounds gay. Anyway, so go ahead. I'm just kind of curious what happened.
Right.
So then
I get to San Francisco and I got this money.
And are you freaking out? You are aware that you killed her, right?
Yeah, well, I'm coming down now. So now every corner I go down, if I see a San Francisco cop, I start freaking, and a few times I jumped out of the car and just slammed the car in the park and jumped out of the car while the car was still moving. But see, that was part of the crack, because when you hit a 20 rock and you're poofing, and then you just sit there for a minute. Next thing you know, I used to pick things off the floor and swear that I dropped some rocks and put them in my pipe and smoke them. Or I'd look out the window and swear that.
All right, so wait a second. Well, let's stick to the topic. So you get you get in the car, you see cops, and you keep stopping and stuff.
I get to San Francisco and I'm doing all types of crazy things. Now, I've never been in trouble before. I got stopped for DUI when I was younger.
All right.
This is my second offense. So I turn around and I'm going through San Francisco and I run out of money. So the next thing I do is I go to the China district. And I go up into the little convenience stores and I ask the people, okay, give me a carton of cigarettes, a carton of this, and a carton of that. And I get 4 cartons of cigarettes on the counter. And as soon as they turn back to grab me another carton, I grab the cartons and I run out the store and I jump in my car and take off.
Go ahead.
So I ran and I jumped in my car. And as I'm going down the street, a car is turning. So as the car was turning, I slammed right into the driver's side of the car. I backed up and took off. But a light of mine had went out on my right side.
Right.
So the light went out, and then about 2 hours later, San Francisco pulled me over for not having a light. They run the tag.
Oh, you even ran from the accident.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
He's guilty of everything. And then
He did every crime possible.
all right, you know what? In your short life, you've done every crime in a short 1 day
It
span.
may only be your second offense, but you got all of them in.
I know.
You broke all the drug laws. Then you killed your girlfriend. Then you robbed her parents. Then you went and robbed a store.
You left the scene of an accident.
Then you crashed your car.
And then he rode around with one headlight.
Yeah. Which is even worse.
And then what was bad about the whole thing was that...
That's like when Colin Ferguson got all guilty verdicts, and then all of a sudden they said not guilty on being a racist. It was like it didn't matter. So did you light anything on fire, or was there arson involved?
No.
No, okay.
I
Very
didn't
good.
take it there. But
then they just
had
let you
a
out.
helicopter flying overhead. They had like 6, 7 police cars, guns all to me, right?
Right.
And they asked me my name. And
But wait a second. The cop runs the license through. He realizes it's a stolen car and you're a wanted man.
Right.
So what does he do? He comes over and says, you better sit in your car?
I had gotten out the car already, right?
Right.
They had their floodlights on it.
How many cops were there?
There was about 6 or 7.
You mean?
And then there was a helicopter. They had a helicopter following, so just in case I wanted to...
Oh, so obviously there was a manhunt out for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I
was
see.
on the KTTVU.
Oh, were you watching yourself?
Oh, good for you. You got a tape of that? We'd like to show it.
It's on Channel 2.
Yeah, we're going to try and get a copy of that.
That's on KTTVU, San Francisco.
Now, at what point did they connect you to killing your girlfriend? Like right away, they know?
No, it was like 2 days later. I had we lived in a nice upper-class neighborhood. We lived up like where you live at. Real nice people, doctors and stuff live up there. And they knew that I was me and
So how did you mean they didn't discover... excuse me.
I had some problems before.
They didn't discover that your girlfriend was dead for like 2 days?
No, they had found her the next day because she was supposed to be into her dad's office. She was her dad's dental office manager.
Oh, I see.
But how long were you on the run like that?
Just 4 days after the incident.
And you ran
everybody had thought I had come back home, back to Jersey.
So California has lethal injection, so you better get your arm ready.
Lethal injection and gas chamber.
What's you going to choose?
I ain't gonna choose neither one because if it's God's will, hopefully it won't happen. But if it does, I'll probably let them decide. I'll probably let Pete Wilson decide.
You want to know what I would get?
What the?
If I was you, I'd get lethal injection.
Yeah, because they put all those good drugs in there.
Yeah,
I was going to say, you like drugs.
You might as well go out like that. I mean, the gas chamber sounds like you got to like suffocate and cough.
And drugs got him here.
Yeah.
So drugs ought to take him away.
Yeah. Well, nice talking to you, dude. I mean,
hey, call us and let us know.
So when do you think they're going to wrap this case up and have you executed?
I have to be here at least another year.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I have a great idea.
What?
You can ask that people be a witness to your execution, can't you?
Yeah.
Oh, can we do it?
Hey, you know what I just said to this guy in the next elevator? I said, man, if I get executed, I'm gonna have Howard Stern come to my execution.
We'll come down and do a whole show.
We'll do a whole week of shows from an execution.
Good idea, Robin. Dude, when do you think? I mean, not to pressure you, but how soon can you be executed?
Yeah, we want to make arrangements.
Yeah, we want to be there. We want to watch you slip into another world.
Well, I can always go up. I go up in March. Quick calendar here, March.
Good. Let's get this straight. Gary, get the calendar out so we can book this. Are we actually allowed to broadcast from there?
I don't know if we could broadcast from a certain place, but we would actually get to go in and be there to witness his execution.
Dude, you got to remember to appoint us as witnesses.
Yeah, it's March 30th.
That's when your trial is?
No, that's when it's another trial setting. And then I go up for VOP on that day, too.
What's VOP?
Violation of probation. I got caught with
Why bother?
cocaine also.
You had cocaine in jail?
What's that?
You had cocaine in jail?
Oh, I got 30 seconds.
All right, well, let's wrap this up. So in other words, you had cocaine when they arrested you?
Yeah.
Oh, you did that, too? Hello?
We got cut off.
Dude, we got to get down to that. Dude. Well, that'll be a good show. Oh. I mean, I would take pleasure in seeing that guy.
He's a rating grabber.
Yeah. I mean, he killed a girl. Let's watch him die. You know me, I'm for that.
But he's sorry for it.
Yeah.
It didn't sound too sorry to me. Hey, man, I want to get off. I mean, he was terrorizing the whole town while he was on
Bonnie and Clyde was just on the vote.
Sheesh.
He did everything wrong.
Yeah. He even got arrested with coke after he crashed the car and had a busted taillight.
Yeah, he said, that's only my second offense. But look at it.
But look at that offense. I mean, you know.
DUI and murder.
Imagine going to the judge and like, this was only my second offense. That's what OJ should say. I've never been arrested before.
First offense, Your Honor.
Jeez. He needs the dream team real bad, that dude.
The scariest thing of the whole thing is how normally,
Yeah. Well, you know what it is.
I chopped my girlfriend's head off.
Yeah, but he hangs out every day with guys who did the same thing.
Let me ask you something. If you did that much crack and acid, I still don't think I could chop someone's head off.
No.
I don't think it would happen. But who knows?
How could you do anything?
Crack makes you so nuts. Maybe it...
But, not to even remember it, to go from I was standing in the shower to then I was cradling her with no head. I don't know what happened in between.
But that crack's some drug. I got a feeling, though, guys who do that have a sort of a proclivity toward doing it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And it brings it out.
Absolutely.
That's what I think happened with O.J. I think he was whacked out on crystal meth.
Because there's tons of people who do all kinds of drugs and they don't cut somebody's head off.
Yeah, right. Lord knows I did 4 hits of acid. I should have cut off half of Boston's head. And I just sat there and stared at the sky.
Back over.
Oh, yes? Oh.
We got a fresh 20?
Hey, dude, we got a fresh 20, huh?
What's that?
We got another 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Dude. Hey, so, how do you get to use the phone at 4 o'clock in the morning in prison? They
wheel it down on the card. You get it. You can have it 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So what I do is I get on it because I'll call like Alaska. What I do is I'll dial certain numbers.
Yeah.
And I'll just get people and see if they'll accept it. Right.
Yeah.
And when they accept it, I ask them if they'll be my pen pal or something like that.
Right.
But no, they leave the things on the tier 24 hours a day.
So sometimes you just
wheel them from cell to cell.
So sometimes you're so bored you just call a phone number and you say, "Hey, dude, look, I'm in prison. Would you be my pen pal?"
Right. Well, I got some lady from Alaska.
Is that right?
She's my pen pal. Her name is Jackie.
Yeah, a lot of girls dig that.
Yeah.
A lot of desperate women will hang out with prison dudes. I want to do a whole show of that one time.
They had a woman on Oprah the other day, and she was crying because her whole family was there. She's going to marry some guy that she met exactly this way.
Yeah.
I see that.
And her whole family's crying, and she's like, "You don't know him the way I know him."
Yeah, great.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I was just saying to Robin that probably it was always within you to cut off someone's head.
Yeah.
Like you're that type of guy, but
I
the
always
crack.
wanted to be a doctor, Mr. Stern.
Yeah.
Brain surgeon.
No, I wanted to be.
You're like the
I wanted
nutty
to be a
professor.
dentist like my dad.
What?
I wanted to be a dentist like my dad.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I just started hanging out with the wrong crowds, and
It's always somebody else's fault.
Dude, let's get back to your...
see, there you go, Robin.
Do me a favor. Hey, dude, do me a favor. Let's get down to scheduling your execution.
Okay.
All right. Now, with any luck, you'll be executed in March?
No.
Well, see, I can go up for a trial setting on the 30th.
Go ahead.
Okay. But, that is just to see where we had trial setting. Now, I have a psychiatrist out of Berkeley that was on the Mendez brothers case.
Dude, just give me a bottom line. When can I set up this execution?
We're looking at a year, I think.
Yeah.
About a year.
All right. Now, we want to stay in touch with you so we can make sure we're at your execution.
Right. Well, I'd like to give you my address and my
Consider
person
us
number.
pen pals.
Yeah, all right.
Don't give it out over the air.
You don't
No,
give
I'm not going to.
I'll get it
Not
on
that it
hold.
wouldn't hurt me because I'd probably get some mail.
What's
but,
this dude's name?
I don't even want to say because I don't want people calling up saying they're him.
Oh, okay.
I know his name.
Yeah, he knows who I am.
Well, can you give me a first name then?
Yeah, Lee.
Lee. All right, Lee.
And, hey, Mr. Stern, while I got you on, do you think you and Robin could sign an autograph for me?
I don't know, man, dude. I have a real problem with what you did to that girl. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's hard to feel kind of
In
sympathetic
general,
for you.
we don't do things for prisoners.
Yeah, I mean, you sound like kind of a nice guy and everything, but then when you sort of take your resume into account,
Yeah, you hang out with him.
Yeah.
Do you see where it extends from?
No.
I mean, what was the number one factor of why it happened?
You're a bad person.
because you're nuts.
You ain't right, Robin.
Is there any way you could just plead guilty and move it along so we could get to be at your
That's
execution
what
sooner?
I want to know.
No, because you know, as I know, that you're going to be, that it takes a while. You know,
What I will
you're
do
not
is,
gonna-
how about if I send you Robin's 8x10, you could chop that up?
My head's coming right off.
You ain't right, man.
What?
I said, you ain't right.
Oh,
I'm not right.
Would say something.
Hey, so what happened? So you cut her whole head right off?
That's what they told me. See, I won't even look at the during prelim. You know, like they have at OJ, they show the pictures and
Right.
like this to the family. Well, I have not to see them.
And were her parents in court?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like Colin Ferguson. Remember Colin at his trial refused to look at the pictures of all the devastation he wreaked.
see, I think they should let her parents cut your head off.
Oof.
That's what I
That
would
should be
do.
the execution.
Because if that was my daughter and you did it to her, I'd cut your head off.
Have her parents contacted you, like written your letters telling you?
I was really close. Both of our families are really close to each other.
So did they contact you and yell at you?
No, well, my mom and dad talk with them. I mean, they're still really close friends.
What did your mom and dad say to you after you did it? Like, what did they say to you?
Tragedy. When they came to they had come to the police station, Howard, right?
Yeah.
In Los Gatos, and they asked if they could speak with me, and they came in. I was so worn out that they came in, and they sat there and they actually talked to me, and they knew that I was having problems with drugs, but they thought over the Christmas vacation that everything was going okay. You know, we were planning on getting married in March.
Yeah, but what did your dad, like, when your dad and mom sit down after you've done this, like, did your dad start yelling at you?
No, they both, all of them were there.
Yeah.
My dad would have cut my head off.
Yeah, he'd kill you.
What's the matter with you, you moron? I always knew you'd do something stupid.
Her parents were there, and they sat there and they talked with me. And
her parents were there too?
When they left, they gave me a hug and stuff, and that was it. I mean, they're not...
Her parents, wait a second, her parents were there with them?
Yeah.
And they were rapping to you also?
Yeah.
And they hugged you?
We sat down in the police interview room.
And what did her parents say to you? They must have been screaming.
They were asking why.
And what did you say? I don't know.
I just...
Were you crying and junk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got 40 tapes here with us talking on, you know, different interviews.
Oh, you and the parents?
Parents, and I've got one right here in my cassette now that has just her dad, me and her dad, and he says, I would have done anything for you. Why didn't you call me? Didn't we have a good time over Christmas? Stuff like that.
You know, you've turned their life into a living hell.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Hey, listen, stay in touch with us so we can beat your execution.
All right, well,
put him on hold.
Gary, I'll give him my
Thanks.
address.
All right, man. Hold on. We'll be there for the execution, but we'll bring it to you live.
Yeah, but you know what? This is something we're going to have to deal with for 6 or 7 years. We don't execute people in this country that fast.
Robin, I'm working with Lee to make sure that execution goes faster. And I thought Grillo was the scariest guy at the station.
Well, thank goodness this guy called in right after Grillo did his act this morning.
Grillo looks normal. Well, that was Lee, one of our fans who's in prison right now for cutting off his girlfriend's head. And
you know, I love how respectful he is. Mr. Stern.
Yeah.
He's a murderer. You might as well just...
Yeah, but the man was raised right. I mean, he does know how to say Mr. Stern. I appreciate that. I wish more of our listeners would take Lee's example.
You know what? I love him. He was raised not to take drugs, and he was also raised not to lie. He forgot the first one, but couldn't not confess when they caught him.
Maybe he lost his hair at a young age and just lost his mind. I don't know. Let me ask Lee if he has his hair.
Strange.
Hey, Lee, one last question. Hey, Lee. Hey, Lee.
He just hung up.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Just wanted to ask him if he had his hair. That was Lee, everybody, checking in. Yeah. That was. By the way, if any of our other listeners are on death row or are closer to execution, we'd appreciate a phone call.
Yeah, invite us to be your witnesses.
Yeah. Whenever you get in trouble, call us.
But I think that's a great idea to be the witnesses at executions.
And remember to leave Howard and Robin in your will. All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after these words. Oh, yeah, I was wondering what that place is, because every time I pass by it, I see a big line out in front.
Yeah, I had no idea. I just wanted to go in and get a sandwich.
And usually the food's crummy, right?
Right.
It's just that somebody had some cool idea to put some wacky things on the wall and have some guy rap to them.
Right, and everybody, I mean, the place is packed.
Yeah. Wow. Jekyll and Hyde. I'll have to check it out. That's funny.
You can't get a meal anymore. You gotta go get all that entertainment.
Some out-of-work comedian finally got a gig working behind that wall.
Oh, yeah, he's bitter.
Yeah. Angry puppets on the wall.
You know, that guy in that white makeup, he's bitter, too.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of hostile people serving you dinner.
So anyway, our show on Friday was subpoenaed.
What did we do on Friday?
You just sobered up. You're over there laughing, and all of a sudden you're like, what did we do?
Yeah, wait a minute.
L.A. prosecutor's office subpoenaed the show.
Wow, we're going to be on the O.J. case?
No, not the O.J. case. That guy who chopped his girlfriend's head off case.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about it when we come back. I got to take a short break. Yeah, this is pretty good. We'll be back right after these words.
We're back with the Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good. See, I'd like to play like that guy. Who is that?
If it's the top of the card, it's Megadeth.
I'd like to play like Megadeth. I can handle that. Yeah, I should have practiced my guitar a little bit when I was younger.
It's a little late to be.
Yeah, I think I've missed the boat. I think it's...
to have figured all this out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was not gifted musically. I'm pretty sure of that. There was no inclination toward that.
No need to go to your room now. And
No. Ain't gonna happen. All right, what do you want? You want to hear about how in Los Gatos? Where is Los Gatos?
Well, the guy said he was calling from San Diego, so it must be somewhere around there.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. We're not in San Diego more than a couple of weeks, right? Mm-hmm. And already we're making news out there. Oh, that was from San Diego?
Oh, that's what he said, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Los Angeles.
No, he said San Diego.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't realize. That's kind of cool. Prosecutors seek radio caller's tape. Slaying described on the air sounds like Los Gatos case. This is an article by Sandra Gonzalez, a Mercury News staff writer. What is it?
Los Gatos is outside of San Jose.
San Jose.
San Jose. It was San Jose, he said, because he said he drove to San Francisco.
Okay. So it's San Jose, San Francisco. Yeah. All right. Hello, Mr. Stern, the caller began innocently enough. Radio personality Howard Stern then asked him, so how long have you been sitting in a jail? A little over a year, answered the caller, who continued, one night I had taken some acid and smoked some crack, flipped out, and I cut my fiance's head off. Stern's sidekick Robin Quivers gasped, and then the caller, identified on the air as Lee, spent the next 20 minutes describing a brutal Los Gatos murder, while a nationwide audience, including several Santa Clara County prosecutors, listened in.
Ooh, everybody was tuned in.
Within hours of the broadcast Friday morning, Los Gatos police were tipped off. So was Deputy District Attorney Lane Learoff, who was prosecuting 27-year-old Lee Elmore Newman for the 1994 murder of Deborah Lynn Eberly, a 32-year-old dental office manager from Los Gatos.
So far, all the facts are checking out.
Yeah. On Friday, Learoff had investigators working to trace phone records to verify the caller's identity to make sure the call was not a hoax. Officials at the Santa Clara County Jail, where Newman is awaiting trial, said Friday night they could not confirm it. They couldn't confirm it was Newman who made the call. Don't they have phone records and who used the phone when?
And don't they have a guy wheeling it down the hall to him?
Yeah, evidently in prison, like you sit in your cell and they'll wheel a phone to you so you would know if the guy called in at 4 in the morning.
That's what I would think.
Who knows? Learoff said the caller mentioned details that matched those of the Eberly killing. There is no question that it is the same case, said Learoff, who faxed a subpoena to the radio show's producers demanding a tape of the broadcast to use as evidence in court. I'm shocked that Mr. Newman would speak about the killing in such a cavalier fashion, Learoff added.
So was I.
Yeah, so were we. But it's consistent with what I've been told about him. Tom Giussano, general manager of Infinity Broadcasting in New York, said he planned to cooperate fully with the district attorney's office, but he required a subpoena to provide a copy of the tape.
As a man who also has lost his head, he has sympathy.
Yeah. No trial date has been scheduled for Newman, who has pleaded not guilty in the case. His attorney, Alfred Morales, did not return phone calls Friday. Wow.
Well, didn't he say the fact that he cut her head off is not in dispute?
Yeah, he says he admits guilt. During last year's preliminary hearing, however, Morales spent much of the court proceeding challenging an alleged confession by Newman that Morales said was obtained improperly by Los Gatos police.
Ah, this is the problem.
Oh, this is... In two separate phone calls to the Stern Show Friday morning, broadcast in the Bay Area on San Jose's KOME-FM, the caller, identified as Lee, calmly described how he killed his girlfriend, Deborah, in an act he blamed on his drug use. I wasn't in the right state of mind, Lee said. Definitely not, Stern answered. Quivers interjected, so what's the trial about? He's guilty. Though it was suggested during the broadcast that Lee faced the death penalty, Learoff later said that is not the case.
Aww.
Some of what he detailed are exaggerated lies and fanciful things, Learoff said, citing dialogue in which Lee described a good relationship with the victim's family. At the time of the murder, Lee said he had been engaged to Deborah, whose father is a dentist. Yeah, it's true. You know, he kept saying how, like, he gets along real well with the girl's family and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, right.
Well, when he was trying to describe that, you know, they were all sitting around commiserating about the fact that she was dead with him on his first visit, I thought that was awfully bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah, and hugging him and stuff,
The girl's dad is hugging and saying, why did you do this? We would have done anything for you. Not wrapping his fingers around his throat.
Eberly, who worked in her father's dental office, was found dead on January 21st, 1994 in her apartment on Woodsy Reservoir Road in Los Gatos after neighbors reported they had not seen her for 3 days. Eberly's neck was nearly severed, and she had been stabbed in the chest and abdomen. Newman was arrested 5 days later in San Francisco. Yeah, this is definitely the same guy.
Oh, yeah.
Eberly's father could not be reached for comment on Friday. During a 1994 interview with the Mercury News, he described his daughter as a private person, a single parent devoted to her son, with whom she lived in her cherished home in the Los Gatos Hills. On the Stern program, Lee described his arrest in great detail and jokingly mentioned that he considered having Stern witness his execution should it ever take place. Did you think that was a joke?
No.
No.
But now we see he's not even going to be executed. They're not even trying him on the death penalty.
Only once did the caller voice any real sorrow for what he did. If I could ask God to bring Deborah back, I would, but I can't. You know what I mean? I'm not like O.J. I'm not going to say that I didn't do it, he said. At one point, Lee asked Stern and Quivers for an autograph. Stern replied, I don't know, man, dude. I have a real problem with what you did to that girl. You know what I mean? It's hard to feel kind of sympathetic for you. Even for Stern, known for making outrageous comments and hosting controversial guests, the episode was bizarre. He told Lee, you might be the craziest guy we've ever had call in.
I think so far nobody's from that lofty position.
I could have convicted the guy right on the telephone and saved the taxpayers a lot of money, but...
Well, this is what I'm saying. It's over. Let's get to the punishment.
Yeah, let us get in there and pull the switch.
For the good stuff.
Yeah, let's get right to it. I was reading in the New York Times this weekend that there's a whole debate going on about executing people, like how you should do it. You know, lethal... What is it?
Guess who's on the phone?
Is it Lee?
It's Lee, our newest listener.
Does he think this is a law office?
Hey, Lee.
Mr. Stern.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, buddy?
Hey.
Did anybody come to visit you?
Man.
Did you catch a lot of crap?
What's that?
Did you catch a lot of crap for calling in?
They took my Walkman with my radio. I can't hear you guys anymore.
Are you kidding? How come?
Yeah.
Like, why would they do that, though?
Well, it's a long story. That's one of the reasons why I called. I wanted to clear up a few things. I don't know. Have you read it in the paper?
Yeah, I just finished reading it on the air.
You wouldn't know that, though.
Yeah. You can't hear the show, so...
No, because it's 3 hours difference here anyway.
Right.
But, Deputy District Attorney Linroth.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the things he said, like cavalier, I think that was one of the things he said. You don't know what he's talking about. You know, I talked to my attorney Saturday.
Yeah, Alfredo
and Morales.
Yeah.
And, you know, we went over things, and maybe it wasn't right for me to call and say the things that I said, but one of the reasons why I was calling was just to see if I can get you and Robin's autograph. You know, that was the main thing. And
even that didn't work out.
Right.
Yeah, but that's a pretty difficult thing to do. You got to come up with a good story.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you know, I mean, no, but see, it wasn't even that. You know, I mean, you're going to ask, well, you know, where are you calling from and why are you in jail? You know what I mean? And I'm the type of person that, you know, I don't have nothing to hide. What I did was wrong. And just like my attorney said, that you even agree with the death penalty. And I agree with the death penalty also. You know, if you kill somebody, your life should be taken too. So
in other words, what you're saying is, hey, I am accepting my guilt.
Right.
But he's not accepting the death penalty.
No, see, Robin, I do accept it. If that's comes...
He's saying if it comes down to the death penalty, he'll do the death penalty.
Yeah, but he's fighting it, is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Robin?
You might as well.
Don't. Just go.
Dance
down that aisle.
Robin, there's a lot of stuff in between there. I was messed up at the time. Now see, and that homo Linroth is going to say...
Wait a second, hold it, back off.
This is the way to help your case.
Let me say something. First of all, do not call the prosecutor a homo. Because listen, it's obvious that you're angry with the guy.
I don't hear what he's saying.
No, let me say something. Let me just teach you a lesson. First of all,
this is like you going to practice piano.
The guy's job is to put you away for life or get the death penalty for you. You got to understand something. By the way, it says in the newspaper article that the parents of the girl do not get along with you.
See, and that's not. See, he doesn't know. He doesn't know half the stuff. Before, when I wasn't using drugs, Mr. Stern, we wasn't using drugs and stuff, I was an okay guy. I went to work. I did the things that I was supposed to do, and I was in the AA and NA program, and I was trying to get my life together.
So you had used drugs before. You had stopped for a little while.
Right, and I was trying to get clean. Deborah had a little over 3 years clean. She was in AA and NA herself.
Right.
And her dad, I mean, she, you know, and they'll contradict it, and they'll say things. Her dad, I mean, a lot of times she didn't get along with her dad.
Yeah, but the point is, here's the point. You see, you can go on and on and on.
I know,
but you cut her head off, she's dead, you're alive, you admit to doing it, and now it's time to pay the piper, right?
Right.
So, you know, dude,
he's just asking the charge.
To sit and get pissed off at the prosecutor and start calling him disparaging names and stuff isn't cool because listen, man, that's his job to put you away.
He didn't cut anybody's head off.
Yeah, you did.
See, Robin, it's not a joke, and I'm
not joking.
trying to be serious, Mr. Stern.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is that Linroth didn't have to come off. Like, he doesn't even know me. He says something about Cavalier, and that's what I've heard about him, or something like that.
Well, you'll have your day in court.
Listen to this. They came in my room on Saturday. They brought the goon squad in here. They over my cell. They made me walk in my underwear down to the second floor, handcuffed behind my back, and I was just reading the article. They taped off my room with that yellow crime scene tape.
Yeah. Wow.
They taped off my room.
Yeah.
They're video cameraing stuff. And they took the local paper. They took the article. I mean, you know, I was just reading. I was reading the whole paper.
Right.
And, they're in there with the video camera, and Sergeant Darnell called me an a-hole, for talking to Stern and just ruining his day. They took my Walkman. Now, granted, you're not allowed to have a radio on there, okay?
Yeah.
But I can name 60 other people in this jail that have them.
Lee, it's prison. That's what you are in prison. You understand?
I know. I love the guys who complain
about prison. Dude, you chopped off someone's head. I hope it's uncomfortable for you.
If I have one lieutenant and one sergeant giving it back to me once we had an incident here, okay?
Dude, Lee, listen to me. Listen, I'm going to talk sense to you.
You know what I would say, Howard? It's a good thing he's locked up.
Yeah, Lee.
Because listen to him.
Lee, listen to me. Lee, you listening to me?
Yes, Mr.
All right. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with you calling the show. I'm not sure why they'd be pissed off about that. If anything, you help make their case easier, right?
But it doesn't make their case easier, because you can go yourself, a person of the public, and go right to the courthouse and get all the transcripts that I've said. My attorney is going to do a news release today. He's going to do he's going to comment. He didn't comment on Friday because he didn't know where he stand. Where we standed. He thought I was stupid for doing it also. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, he doesn't agree with what I've done.
Right. Right.
And that's something that I took upon myself to do.
All right, what is the goal, Lee? What is the goal here? To get you life in prison as opposed to the death sentence?
It's to do whatever, present their case, and I'll present, my attorney will present my case.
Lee is murdering Lee is murdering the English language.
I know, as he goes along.
Yeah. Lee. Hey, Lee, what was that noise I just heard?
That was the toilet, the next cell over, somebody flushing the toilet.
Oh, you got a toilet in your cell?
Yeah, well, we all got a toilet in our cell, and...
Not bad.
You have individual cells?
Yeah.
But when you go to the bathroom, there's no door on the toilet, right?
So 16 with us. Don't push this phone, dude, because if you'll knock it, and it'll go right out on this gentleman. The trustee comes down the tree. He just fed us.
Oh, he just fed you?
Yeah, they feed us.
And you're yelling at the trustee not to push the phone?
Yeah, because it's got a short in it. If you push the phone, it'll wow.
Oh, I wouldn't yell to the guy. I wouldn't yell at the guy who brought me my food.
No, well,
Lee's into the justice of everything.
Yeah, right.
He's
Lee.
right and everybody else is wrong.
Yeah, Lee. Lee, that's probably going to be your home for the rest of your life. I would just
and you're going to be dealing with trustees from now on.
Yeah, Lee, I don't see you getting out anytime soon.
It's a little bit different. You get a little bit more respect in the prison.
Oh, if you act a little tough.
You know about prison?
Excuse me?
You know about prison?
He's been there for a year.
I don't know about it. I just, what I hear about it from the different guys in here.
Yeah.
See, this is just jail.
I mean, some of it's not so good. You know what I mean? If I do end up on death row, I'll probably be up in San Quentin with what's that guy's name, Richard Ramirez. He's on death row.
Right. You'll be a celebrity up there with the rest of them.
He's a nice guy to hang out with.
Yeah, you'll be able to talk to him.
You're a piker compared to him.
All right, so anyway, so what happened to you? So after you spoke to us, I know the district attorney wants a copy of the show,
right,
but...
And I read Tom Chiasano said it's okay, but you have to have subpoenas.
Right.
You know, and that's no problem. Let the district attorney get whatever he wants.
Right.
You know what I think is interesting?
Because what I've said to you, I have also said to the police.
Right. You've already given your confession.
Right. So there isn't nothing that I haven't said to you
that you haven't said to them
first.
Right.
What's funny to me is they took his radio, not the phone.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
I don't think they could take the phone away from you. There's some weird prison.
You know what, Mr. Stern? They did take the phone away from me back when the investigation was going on my case. They took it away, and my attorney went and got it.
So did your attorney? Listen to me, Lee. Did your attorney yell at you for?
Yeah, he came up here about 8:30 in the evening and yelling at me.
What for calling me?
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. Just what are you doing?
What are you
had
doing?
A Miranda issue.
Right. What's a Miranda issue?
That's, where they read you your rights and, all the things that lead into getting a confession and all that.
Oh, so he was challenging the confession. Oh, I see. He was challenging the confession, saying it was gotten illegally.
Right, because...
And now you just confessed on the air all over again, so...
Because I knew somebody... Well, I was talking with this guy named John. I was just saying his first name. He's a police officer in Los Gatos. And, he had been up to our house on another issue. And so I kind of could relate to him. And he said when I got out of jail on this other issue.
Hey, let me ask you something. Yeah. Why do you think you chopped your girlfriend's head off? Were you fighting with her that night?
No. See, do you have time that I can explain it to you?
Anytime a guy chops a girl's head off, I want to know why. So I have more than enough time.
Right, this is a special.
Let me see if I can pencil in some time.
Okay, back in January, the 7th of January, somewhere around there, I had robbed my next door neighbor's house.
Yeah.
I had quit my job at this tile company. I had gotten all messed up on drugs, and I couldn't work anymore, so I quit. I got my last check, and I quit.
So you robbed your neighbor's house.
And I robbed my neighbor's house while they were away in Michigan.
Right.
Stole about $70,000 worth of stuff.
Were you a suspect in that case?
What?
Were you a suspect?
I left my pants and stuff there.
He always leaves a trail. That's one thing.
You honest criminal.
In their house. And
why would you leave your pants if you were going to rob? Why do you think you left your...
At the time, nothing mattered but to get the next high.
Okay.
And why are you out of your pants when you're robbing a house?
Yeah, why would you take your pants off?
I had taken a shower there and everything, okay? And
why would you take a shower in a house you were robbing?
They're our next door neighbors. We were friends at one point.
All right, and what happened? Like you said, I know they're going to be away, so now I can shower?
Right. We had taken them, Deborah had taken them to the airport.
Right.
And they left their car, and I went, and we had gotten into a fight. I left.
You and Deborah got in a fight.
What's that?
You and Deborah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I had left. Now this is before the thing ever happened.
Right, so you and Deborah got in a fight the night that you robbed your friend's house?
Right.
She was angry that you robbed the house?
No, she was angry that I was messed up on drugs again.
Right.
So I left the house, and because the cops were coming, I left the house and hid up in the woods. When the cops came back, I went up and I hid up in these people's house that live right behind us.
Right.
And I stayed there until the next morning, and I got all messed up and was drinking, and I made some steaks in their house and slept on their couch.
All right, now let me get this straight. I got to understand what you did here, because you're pretty wild. So, okay. After you rob your friend's house and you take a shower there for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're showering there.
Like, because he can't go home.
But he could have gone to Deborah's apartment and showered.
His girlfriend's angry at him.
She was gone. She had went to her mom's house.
Oh.
So, I got to got back in the house. I have the keys to the house.
Yeah, you could have.
But I just think he would be...
one because maybe the cops would have came back.
Okay. So anyway, whatever. I'm not following why you showered there, because to me...
Because I stayed in their house because I didn't feel like if I went and stayed in my house, in mine and Deborah's house, that if I stayed there, the cops may creep up while I'm sleeping and arrest me or tell me to leave the premises.
But you hadn't done anything yet.
No, he had a fight with her, and she called the police.
Oh, okay, now I'm understanding.
Yeah.
Oh, you had a fight with Deborah. She could have called the cops.
Right, we had a thing. Yeah.
Okay. So you rob your friend's house. You take a shower.
Right, and I stay there the night. I'm drinking their wine.
You're drinking their wine. You're getting really high. Then you run off into the woods.
No, then that's before that.
Oh.
And then and then I run to their house and I pop their window latch. I go in their house.
Right.
And I'm staying in their house overnight. The next day I call up a friend that lives in Los Gatos, and I have him come to the house and unload some of this, take some of the stuff out of their house, stereo and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Really nice.
And I went and I sold it, you know, for whatever. And
what do you get for that stuff?
$70,000 that I got, but
how much did you get?
I think about altogether about $6,000.
Wow.
For $70,000 worth
and in
of stuff?
4 days, I went and I spent.
You're some businessman, Lee.
Right. Well, when you're trying to get high, you don't care. You get whatever you can. I went down to the Gooks and just sold it to them.
Right.
And,
The Gooks take that stuff.
Well.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, and Gook knows a good deal when he sees one.
Yeah.
Saw Lee coming.
Saw Lee coming. Me see Lee coming. All right. So
I sell the stuff, and I'm getting high with this dude.
Right.
And we're getting high for 4 or 5 days, and
4 or 5 days,
not sleeping.
4 or 5 days. Now, where are you getting high for 4 or 5 days?
In motels and stuff.
Okay.
I had one motel, and I started tweaking out, and I got in the cab, and I went to another motel, and I got another motel.
Now, the whole time that you're doing this 5-day high in the hotels, are you mad at Deborah for calling the police?
No.
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 All right, but you get high from.
So after this, I was planning on going to Canada now that I had robbed their house.
Right.
You know, because I didn't want to go to prison. I have never been to prison before.
Right. You figure, let's get out of the country.
And why go for a short while if you're going?
Exactly.
Well, I was from an attorney friend of mine. I was only going to get 4 years.
Okay. So how do you end up at Deborah's house and cutting her head off?
Well, I went back after I had run out of money, and we were at this motel, and this dude fell out on me.
Mm-hmm.
And
what do you mean he fell out?
He went into some type of seizure. This dude stopped breathing on me, so I started shaking him. And I took his shirt and stuff off and grabbed him and took towels and put it all over his chest and his head and just tilted him to the side because it sounded like he was choking on his tongue. And
did he die?
No, he about, I'd say about 5-10 minutes later he came to, but he was like real like schizo, like standing in the corner and screaming. Ben, you got to cool out, Holmes, because you know what I'm saying?
This guy at least got some life going on.
Yeah, and this is normal to him. People freaking out and having seizures. You know, he knows exactly what to do.
Sounds like Jackie's house. So anyway, how do you end up at Deborah's house?
So I go, and I call Deborah. She's at work, and I say, Deborah, I'm leaving for Canada. I got some friends up in Canada, and I'm going to Canada.
Right.
And she says, well, Lee, I want to see you before you go.
Boy.
Those are the worst words ever said.
I'm like, Deborah, no, I'm just going to go. And she's saying, please, I want to see you. So she comes and she picks me up.
Right.
Up on 14th and Reed, and takes me to Denny's. We go to Denny's. We have dinner because I hadn't ate like in 4 or 5 days. We go and we eat dinner. And then she says, Lee, I want you to come home.
Did you get through high school?
Yeah.
How did he graduate high school with his grammar?
Jeez. It's easy in America today.
Yeah. That's the worst part of this whole case.
How bad is my grammar?
You got real bad grammar.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably from hanging out with the,
Here he goes, blaming somebody else again.
Who from hanging out with who?
The brothers.
Oh, I got you. Well, that's it. Blame the black man.
All your problems are the black man's.
I thought he was going to blame Denny's food.
I think that's why he cut her head off.
Right.
He only took him to Denny's.
Good thing you eat at Denny's. That's the only place you can go to get away from the black
They
man.
got served right away.
Damn right. All right. So anyway, so then you.
He says I wanted to go home with you now. Knowing that I robbed my neighbor's house a couple of days ago, I can't go home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, Deborah, I can't go home with you. He says, I want you to come home. What we'll do is you sneak up through the woods, and you come through the side window. So I do that, and I get out. She drives up past our house. I get out, and I go through the woods, and I climb through. She opens the side bedroom window. And the whole time I stay there for about another 3 or 4 days before all this happens. And in the meantime, I'm getting high while she's at work, and I got some acid that I had bought down on Santa Clara Street here, and I'm doing that, and I'm just getting totally wasted, which is against her, against her morals because she doesn't, she has a little kid and she's not allowed to have that type of stuff around in the house and stuff like that because of her kid comes on the weekends.
It's too bad you're not black, man, because you would still be at Denny's waiting to get served, and none of this would have happened.
That's right.
So
anyway, so you're at the house and you're getting high for 4 days and you're doing acid and like crack and stuff.
Where are you getting all these drugs? You had no money.
Well, you got $6,000 from the Gooks.
No, they used it up in the hotel.
I didn't. I still had money.
Oh, I
didn't. You can't in 4 or 5 days. $6,000. It goes a while.
It lasts for a while.
Buy $100 sack.
Yeah, you buy a $100 sack, you get...
Yeah, you can buy it in bulk when you got that kind of money.
I mean, $6,000, you should be able to get high for a couple of days. Unless you have it completely out of control.
I guess they weren't staying at the kind of hotels I was.
Yeah, right. You stay at a hotel that's $6,000 a day. All right, so then you're at Deborah's house.
And
now, did you get into a fight that day?
No. See, the problem was it was getting ready to be a Friday, and her son was coming. Now I had to leave. Okay, I was going to come back down to Santa Clara here. Down to San Jose on Santa Clara, stay at some friend's house.
Go ahead.
And stay until Bucky left again so Bucky wouldn't know, because then he may, because he's friends with the neighbors, may say, oh, Lee's next door, or, because he didn't know nothing about it.
Okay.
And so...
Let's not use the child's name.
Okay. Well, no, that's not his name.
That's not his name.
No.
That's someone else's name.
All right.
Yeah, so go ahead.
So we go on, and then finally she comes home that night, and she tells her friend at the office, and she's all smiling, because when I told her I was going to Canada, she was crying and stuff like that. And so she tells her friend says to her, I won't say your friend's name, but she says that son of a is back.
Wait a second, let me get this straight. So so in other words, you guys were making love for 4 days. You were like being boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right, and
everything was going good. You were getting high a lot. You were getting a little bit out of your mind. Right. But then at what point, what set you off, do you think?
It sounds like that's coming up.
Well, he says that she was at work.
Okay, she would go to work, right, Mrs. Stern? She'd go to work, and I would stay in the bedroom. It was the back bedroom. Okay, because our neighbors are directly behind us. We have the same driveway.
Okay.
And they're right behind us, and if I was to go into the kitchen, you can look from their top of their kitchen window down into our backyard, into our kitchen. So it was like I pretty much just stayed from the... All
right, so you were hiding out in the bedroom.
Right.
And what happened? Did you guys get into a fight? Because
we had made love.
Yeah.
Okay, we had been making love for a couple days, and I was just smoking that stuff. And
right.
I had took an acid before she had come home.
You took an acid.
You took an acid.
A couple hours before she had come home.
Yeah.
And so I was tore up. And she knew I was tore up. I mean, she even called the cops on me one time because we had got domestic violence. And
but she had it. But this time you didn't have any domestic violence, right?
No.
You didn't.
No, we were just thinking of a way.
You were thinking of a way for you to get out of the country, right?
No, we were just thinking of a way. She wanted me to turn myself in.
Oh, okay. So she said to you, "Why don't you turn yourself in for the robbery?" And maybe
right. But she didn't want me to turn myself in right away. We wanted to go over this, and we had a friend of ours who's a public defender.
Right.
And she wanted to talk with her some more. Wanted me to talk with her.
Right.
And see what options I had.
So at this point, you're feeling a lot of pressure because you don't know which way to turn.
30 seconds remaining. I'll have to call you back.
All right.
Here we go again.
Hello? Wait a second.
This is like a cliffhanger.
Wait, he'll call back. Hold it. Let me take a break, and then we'll get back to this. I got to find out why he killed her. Maybe I better just wait for him to call back.
Because if he calls back immediately, we don't want to waste any time in commercials. Yeah. He only has that time limit.
Yeah, Lee has 20 minutes on the phone. I just got to figure out why a guy...
See, I don't think he has a reason.
Well, let's see. Want to put some bets on it?
Yeah.
As long as we're playing the game.
Wait, he has a reason for nothing in his life.
You know he's going to come up with some reason, though. Don't bet that way, because you're going to be sorry.
No, because he's blaming the drugs.
Let's see.
I don't know what that one little tale was. There was a little piece there you cut off where he said she was already telling her friends that so-and-so is back again. Like she was complaining to her friends about him.
Now, hold on. I don't think it mattered. It wasn't relevant.
Yeah.
That sounded like it was.
Hello.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, Lee.
You last left us.
Yeah. So who are those guys yelling in the background?
Somebody was calling me.
Oh, really? Who's that?
Some Mexican dude.
Mexican dude, like a prisoner?
What's he in for?
Yeah.
What did he do?
Drive-by shooting.
Oh. Anyway, so are these guys pretty mellow in there, or are they hassling you?
What's that?
Are they hassling you in there?
Who?
Like the Mexican guy and stuff. No?
They don't even come out of their cells, it doesn't sound like.
Are you a pretty muscular dude? I mean, can you handle yourself?
I mean, I weigh now, at the time when I was spoofing, I weighed from like 180 down to like 130. I weigh 212 now.
No. Wow. Are you fat?
No, I'm kind of...
How tall are you?
Are you muscular?
Kind of.
Yeah?
I mean, I got little arms and stuff like the chest, but...
How tall are you?
5'11".
All right. So anyway, Lee.
What's that?
So Lee.
Yeah.
So I don't understand something. So then you're with So you're with her, and she's trying to get you legal advice and stuff, and figuring out how to protect you about the robbery in your friend's house. Because at this point, the cops have got to be looking for you because your neighbors are already reporting you, right?
Right.
They've already discovered the robbery.
Back on a Monday, and they had called over and said, Deborah, he took everything.
So already they're searching for you, right? The cops.
Yeah.
Okay. So the cops have probably already questioned her as to where you are.
Right.
But she said you're not around.
She doesn't know yet. But she knows I'm still around, but she doesn't because my stuff is still at the house.
Yeah,
she doesn't, she knows I'm down in San Jose somewhere.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm saying, Deborah, you were in her bedroom for 4 days.
No, when they came back on a Monday and she had talked to Deborah, I was still out.
Okay, all right, but I'm saying by the time that you got into Deborah's bedroom and everything...
She knew exactly where you were.
Yeah, we were keeping it a secret.
She was helping to keep you hidden, right?
Right.
All right, until you could talk to this friend of hers. And she was saying, hey, turn yourself in.
Right.
And meanwhile...
We were debating on what to do. I wanted to go to Canada, and she says, well, I want you to talk to Steffi first.
Okay, so did you talk to Steffi?
Yeah.
All right, you talked...
Talk to Steffi and find out. Steffi says that, you're looking at 4 years.
Right.
And I was going to call Steffi, but I just got so strung out that I said to hell with it.
Right, so you got real strung out, and then you were going to split for Canada.
Yeah.
You decided to hell with it, I'm going to go to Canada.
Yeah.
So how do you end up killing your girlfriend?
I just flipped out. I was going to kill myself, and the next thing you know, I spun out.
Well, wait a second. Wait.
Oh,
Let me get
the Gene Harris defense.
Oh, let me get this. Let me get this.
I kill myself, and I wound up killing
you can't end the story like that. That's not good. Now wait a second. So what time did you do this at night? This killing?
It was sometime during the day. I can't even remember.
All right, wait a second.
Spun out when
All right, wait a second. She came home from work, right?
Right.
To be with you.
Well, what had happened was when she was at her office, her friend said, "He's not there again, is he?" And Deborah was all smiles. You know what I'm saying? She told her girlfriend that works at the office, yes, he is.
Oh.
And
so you got mad because she told her girlfriend?
No, I didn't get mad. Her girlfriend was mad at Deborah because Deborah had let me back in.
All right. So when Deborah came home, was she upset?
No.
So when Deborah came home, was she like, oh my God?
She knew that I had been smoking.
Right. Did she get mad at you for
smoking? Smell it in the house.
Did she get mad at you for smoking?
Well, did she get? Well, she got like she usually gets. She says, you've been smoking, haven't you?
And so she was hassling.
Not hassling. She just says, you've been smoking in the house again, haven't you?
Yeah, but it sounds like...
I said, yeah, well, I told her, I said, well, where else can I go? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, where am I supposed to smoke?
Sit out in the backyard and keep poofing,
Right, so you were like, well, where am I supposed to smoke? I mean, this is where I smoke. I got to get high.
You asked me in, and I have to smoke here.
It wasn't even...
You invited... but you were saying...
She said, you've been smoking again, and I said, yeah.
Yeah, and then when she said that to you, you got kind of agitated, maybe.
No, there was no agitation. I didn't get agitated.
You didn't?
She says, well, you know Bucky's coming.
Right.
And
she was mad because she didn't want to...
We had to sit down and, I was going to go back down to San Jose until... the weekend was over and Bucky went back, and then we were going to sit and we were going to talk about our options, what options we had. She didn't want me to go to Canada.
So did you make love that afternoon? When she came in, did she say, hey, you're going to have to leave to go to, leave because my kid's coming?
Not at first, no. We were making love. Bucky had called.
Right.
And she had talked to Bucky, and then I turned around, and because I couldn't tell her to give me the phone because I didn't want Bucky to know I was there. Bucky thought I was already going back to New Jersey. Already went back to New Jersey. So I turned around and I called Bucky right back and tell him, hi, how you doing, and stuff like that, and I miss you and stuff.
All right, so at what point so you make love to her, and when she, did you chop her head off after you made love?
We were supposed to go take a shower.
Yeah.
And after that, I blanked out.
You were supposed to take the shower, so she was naked when you cut her head off.
We both were naked.
You were both naked, and somehow you cut her head off in the shower?
No, it was. They say that it was in the bedroom. That we were in the bedroom. That was the last thing that I remember was being in the bedroom. And I remember rocking Deborah.
Well, you were right, Robin. He doesn't.
He has no excuse.
No excuse. I don't understand. Something must have set it off. Deborah must have said something to you.
She didn't.
You don't remember,
Mr. Stern. She did nothing. She said nothing out of the ordinary that she doesn't.
Maybe you made a suicide pact. You said, "Hey, I'm going to kill myself." And she said, "Let's do it together." Or something.
She knew. She knew that I was real depressed and everything, and that I didn't know which way to turn. I didn't know what to do, whether to run off to Canada.
Do you remember getting the knife?
Excuse me?
Do you remember getting the knife?
No.
You don't?
I just remember I remember going to the kitchen and coming back to the bedroom, and that was it.
So when you had the knife, were you there saying, "Hey, I'm going to kill myself with this knife"?
What's that?
Did you say, "I'm going to kill myself with the knife"?
I had contemplated it. I had contemplated
Yeah.
it earlier. You know, like the whole couple of days that I'd been there, because I didn't know what to do. I was so messed up on the crack, and I was blown away. You know, I'm sitting there.
So maybe you were sitting there with the knife saying, "Hey, Deborah, I'm going to kill myself."
No, but she would be at work, and she knew that I would call her 4 or 5 times a day. And there's a lot more in between that.
Yeah, I don't want to know anymore.
You know what? I hope every enabler in the world is listening to this right now.
Yeah, Fred.
Yeah, Fred.
Fred's an enabler.
What do you think that phrase?
Anyway, so I think you were maybe sitting there with the knife saying, "Hey, I'm going to kill myself" or something, and then
she tried to stop it?
Maybe she tried to stop you.
No.
You don't know, though.
No, she wasn't angry.
Maybe you were mad that you had
in the house. There wasn't no argument or anything.
Maybe you were mad that you had to leave her, and you didn't want any of the guys to get her. So
no,
if you couldn't have her, no one could.
No, we wanted to find out the best solution through Stephanie to find out what to do.
Well, I think you found it.
You found the best solution.
He faced 4 years or take off to Canada. She didn't want me to go to Canada. So.
Well, she got her wish.
I don't know. She must have given you some kind of rule, like no more smoking in the house, or you flipped out. There had to be something.
Why do you think there had to be
like
something?
That had happened.
Something ticked you off.
Like that. That was like a ground rule, you know, because...
I'm telling you, though, something ticked you off. You didn't want to be hassled.
It had nothing to do with not being happy or not being... It was...
You were aggravated.
No, the only thing that it was, I mean, I was facing 4 years, or I had to go to Canada. Now, I'm all screwed up. I just robbed my next-door neighbors for $70,000 worth of stuff. I'm proofing nonstop, 24 hours a day.
I wish you'd stop. I hate that term.
But come on, let the guy talk, yeah? Go ahead.
That's what they say.
Yeah, I know. You were poofing 24 hours a day. Go ahead, yeah.
You know, and for 5-6 days, and then 3 or 4 more days after that, and I'm just straight up poofing. When they found me in San Francisco, I was poofing. When they pulled the car over, I had just threw a 20 rock on there, and when all these floodlights and guns are on me, I'm in the car poofing.
All right, Lee. So listen, Lee,
let's just ask one thing. You knew you had killed her.
What's that?
Yeah, he knew he killed her.
You knew you had killed her.
When I was laying there rocking her, I just couldn't believe what had happened. And the first thing I thought was, I panicked and I ran. Instead of turning myself in.
Hey, Lee, you gotta let us be there when they kill you.
They're not going to kill him.
They're going to execute him.
No, they're not.
Why do you say no?
It's in the article you read that he's not being tried on the death penalty.
How come they're not trying him on the death penalty?
I don't know.
Mr. Stern?
Yeah. Lee might be able to shed some light on that.
Linroth contradicted himself, okay, all right, Tony Russolano from KPXI, Channel 5, talked to me on the phone.
Talk to who, you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also was on KPXI Channel 5. He's also saying, well, Newman can face the death of the gas chamber now, and this and that. And then, but Linroth says in the paper, this and that. All
right, listen, Lee, you're losing me. I gotta go anyway. I got a ton of stuff to do today. But if for some fluke they do kill you, let us be there, okay?
All right.
Because Robin and I would like to do a show from there.
All right.
You know, and we'll get some girls and everything to watch.
It'll be an extravaganza.
Yeah, for TV and radio.
Can Jackie be there in person?
Yeah, Jackie will be there in person.
The whole gang.
Yeah.
Tell him to bring one of his CDs.
Jackie, bring your CD.
What, are you taking that to hell with you?
No, Jackie could be like our job. He could cut Lee's neck off with the CD. Just wing it into him.
Just wing it in.
Yeah. All right, Lee, well, certainly sounds like you're a mess.
Now I'm without my radio, so I can't listen to your show anymore.
I hear you.
What are you going to do about this?
You know, actually, Robin and I designed the show for prisoners, mostly.
You'd be surprised, Mr. Stern, how many people listen to your show here.
I know it.
No, we wouldn't.
And up in San Quentin and Folsom and Pelican Bay and all them.
When's the last time you had sex?
A little over a year.
Yeah, the last time was with the girl he killed.
Yeah. Boy, that's a thank you. So what do? You just take care of yourself every night?
Well, no, not really. No. No comment.
You had enough of that. You don't?
I got him into trouble.
Store said tell you hello.
Who did?
Little Joe.
Little Joe says hi? Is that the guy who was in for the drive-by?
No, this is another dude.
What's he in for?
I don't know. He's waiting to take a plane back to where he came from.
Oh, he's being extradited for his crimes. Sounds marvelous.
Say hi to Little Joe, and if Haas and Adam are in there, just say hi.
He said to say hello, Little Joe, and to you, Milton, and Flacco said hello, too.
Say hi to Flacco.
And Flacco said hello. He said hello, too, Flacco.
All right, very good.
Hey, can I speak to Gary Delabate real quick?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Right. Lee's got a lot of time on his hands, so he's just looking to speak to anybody. Oh, here's the Lee story again.
Man.
Well, now they can subpoena another thing.
Yeah.
Anything we can do to help. We're getting all the information we can.
Right. We've just about cracked that case. Scarier than talking to Henry Hill, I'd say.
Ooh.
All right.
A lot less normal than he did the other day.
Yeah, he sounded more normal the other day.
The more you talk.
Yeah, he's got a whole bunch of details in there. I'm not sure they lead anywhere.
I love the logic. You know, like everything is, you know, he created this whole mess that created this crisis in his life.
Yeah.
And now I don't know what to do.
Yeah, what is it?
Boy, he is lonely.
Right.
Because he just said, hey, listen, Gary, I know Howard can't send me his autograph, but, you know, you do a really good job, too, so could you send me yours? And I said, he goes, you're a good guy. And I said, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, right.
But, you know, he can't hear it, so don't worry.
All right, we got to take a break, and we'll be back right after these words. On our phone, we have one of the Baldwin brothers. Which Baldwin is this?
Didn't you tell me it was Danny? Daniel?
Which one is Danny?
The one you don't know.
Have I spoken to him?
Yes.
When did I speak to him?
Once. I think he called us from a plane, as a matter of fact.
He's got the hotline number that he got it from Belzer.
Yeah.
So he calls a lot, and he doesn't always get on. But
Yeah, he's the guy in Homicide with Belzer.
Yeah.
That's right.
You got Alec Baldwin, who's married to Kim Basinger. Wait, let me get this straight. Hey, Danny.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
Free Lee.
Free Lee, yeah.
Free Lee.
Free Lee so we can kill him. I'm going to take a few phone calls. The first on our phone is, you there?
Hello, Mr. Stern.
Hey, man. This is the guy who made a full confession to killing his girlfriend on our show. You know, it's funny how you can be a hero one day and you'll be a scuzzball the next day in my business.
What do you mean?
Well, what's your name again?
Lee.
Lee.
How could you forget Lee?
Yeah, Lee's the guy who killed his girlfriend.
How you doing, Miss Clifford?
By his own admission, yes.
Yeah. He's got a better book in him than you do, Robin. Lee,
Can I write the book, Lee?
Hey, Miss Quivers, I read your article in the San Jose Mercury News out here in California. I like the article, and especially the one where you say about your dad. You talk about your dad, about forgiving him.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to try. Is it in paperback or it's in hardback right now?
It's hardcover, yes.
Lee in prison with a lot of time on his hands.
Yeah, well,
Hey, Lee, let me interview you, okay?
Okay, let me just finish what I was saying? They don't allow hardbacks in here, so I got to wait for the paperback.
Why don't they allow hardbacks? Because, what, you guys will beat each other with them?
Yeah, well, or the COs or whatever. But I'm trying to get your private parts now, Mr. Stern.
Well, I had those right here.
Hands off those.
Those are in my pants. These prisoners, they get a little frisky.
Yeah.
How's your movie coming along?
Listen, it's
You
coming along great.
have major worries, Lee, not his movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
They took my Walkman with the radio on it, so I can't hear the show.
Lee's in worse shape than John Lovitz. Hey, listen.
Okay.
Listen to me.
All right.
You came on the air, and you said, hey, look, man, I killed my girlfriend.
Right.
And then I ripped up the town.
Then I saw a bunch of news reports that said that you had never really given a legal full confession, that your whole case hinged on the fact that...
Miranda issue.
Yeah, that the police hadn't gotten the confession out of you legitimately.
But that's not true, Mr. Stern. There was a Miranda issue, but when we went through prelim, okay, the judge there had let it go through. So we would have to argue this at a hearing or during our trial setting.
So does your lawyer tell you not to call me, but you call me anyway?
Yeah, they said not to call.
Right.
That's from Jump Street. You're not supposed to call anybody from the media or whatever. But I was doing a thing. I was trying to get radio hosts autographs. So I was doing other people around here in California also, and I got a couple of them. And I said, well, I used to live in Jersey for 23 years, and I used to listen to you on your other stations, and I figured that maybe I could give you a try. So
how come when you're in prison, you take up a hobby like getting radio people's autographs?
Why wouldn't you do that before? You had no good hobbies when you were out. That's why you're in.
Suddenly Lee's discovering a whole new life,
No, I had hobbies. I did things.
It was drugs.
Yeah, you were doing drugs and killing your girlfriend.
But before that...
Lee, what did you do again? You slit her throat or something? I don't even remember.
Yeah, almost severed her head.
Yeah, almost severed her head.
Well, I was under the influence of crack cocaine and LSD.
Yeah.
That good combination.
Jackie, how is that combo? I've never experienced that one.
That's the best.
That's the best combo there is. For killing.
Jackie would know.
I did LSD.
You hallucinate really fast.
I've never done...
You only did it one time, you said.
No, I've done LSD a couple of times, but the first time I did it, it was real bad.
Yeah,
Why would you do it again? That's what I always wondered.
Well, I had a real bad experience, but I accidentally took 4 hits, and the only reason I did it again was because I was living in Boston, and in Kenmore Square, they were showing 2001: A Space Odyssey.
This is not a good excuse.
And I'd always wanted to see 2001: A Space Odyssey on acid. And even though I had sworn off all drugs, I just said, let me go and see it. I'll just take and this time I knew the proper dosage.
It sounded like Lee.
I know. And I went, and I just stared at the ceiling. I missed the whole movie because the ceiling was dripping. And I went with a guy named Dave, who, and then they go, when the computer Hal starts going, Dave. He ran out of the theater.
He was on LSD.
He was on it, too. He did. Dave. And he was like, yeah.
Good idea.
And it was just really stupid, and it's the worst drug in the world because I really think it takes a piece of your brain out, and it's really not.
But people were heavily into those hallucinogens.
Look at me. I almost lost my mind, and I went back to it.
I know.
So, but anyway, as bad as I was, I never, killed anybody.
Yeah, I go to court
How do
this
you know?
afternoon.
I might have.
What he did.
I might have killed that guy, Dave.
We've never seen him.
Lee claims he didn't know what he did, but I think he knew what he was doing. Because hadn't you beaten your girlfriend a couple of times, too?
We had arguments and stuff like that, and I had one domestic violence. But the issue was that every time that we had an argument or this one domestic dispute that I had got a charge, I was under, when they came to the house and arrested me, they looked in my eyes and checked my pupils and everything, and I was under the influence of crack cocaine.
Yeah, that's no excuse, though. I say any guy who,
Why does he always say that? Like, that's so important. I don't care.
Yeah, I always say, any guy who's even picked up for hitting a girl, electrocute him right away, because you know it's only going to lead to a murdering.
They're going to hit him again.
Yeah, exactly.
See, and
hey, Lee, what do you think of the O.J. Simpson case? Do you feel bad for O.J.?
Well, like I said before...
you must identify with him, because you pretty much did the same thing.
O.J. did it, okay, and all evidence, regardless of how good the defense is doing and stuff like that, and this dude Sheck from back in New York... there's so much other stuff there that they have to prosecute.
All right, but what do you think about it? Do you think what O.J. did was justifiable?
If he did it, he's wrong. I don't care, regardless of if there was cocaine involved. You're wrong. When you take another person's life, I don't care if you're under the influence of anything, you are wrong.
All right, let Lee out. I guess he knows what he's talking about.
No, and
I think you throw away the key.
Yeah. No, Lee admits, one thing I'll say about Lee, as despicable as Lee is, he does admit that he killed his girlfriend. It's very rare that you see a guy admit that he killed his girlfriend.
This is true.
And he says, hey, look, I killed her, and I'm confessing, and that's it.
But he's still fighting.
Yeah, why not? What else has he got to do? He's collecting autographs. What kind of life is that?
Hey, Miss Quivers?
Yes?
You know, like...
Lee, what exactly are you fighting, though? Do you think you can get off in any way? There's no way. I mean, you're going to...
Yeah, well, there is. There is a way. I go to court this afternoon, by the way.
Oh, good.
At 1:30. But
you should be at 1:31. You should probably be in the chair. I mean, I don't see what that problem is.
But it was like the issue with you, Miss Quivers, with your father. You know,
I didn't kill him.
I know, but you know what I mean. There was things that had happened back when you were young, and now you forget.
Yeah, but you can't
move on. I know. Listen, but what I did was wrong, and whatever I got.
What happened to you when you were young? Like, did your father do stuff to you like what Robbins did?
My dad, my mom, and things like that.
What about your dad and your mom?
Well, my dad lives in Belmar, New Jersey.
Yeah, but I'm saying...
That's not against the law.
But what happened to you as a kid that made you...
Drinking and a separation of my mom and dad.
Oh, everyone does do that.
Yeah, come on.
No,
you
but
got to do better than that.
Jackie's drinking right now. He hasn't killed anyone.
It was a time when my dad was drunk. See, I don't want to...
Oh, he did?
Here, but
It's a big deal. My dad was drunk, too.
No, wait a minute. It says his dad did something while he was drunk.
What did he do?
He put my head in the toilet in the bathroom because I was like 8 or 9 years old and it was my birthday and I took $20 out of the drawer to go to Belmar Playland and the arcade and play with my friends and I took $20.
Lee, if you tell the judge that, I'm sure he'll let you go.
No, but see, that's the whole issue. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think when your dad stuffed your head in the toilet that maybe... What a defense.
Toilet defense.
Yeah, the toilet defense. Johnny Cochran developed that, I believe, in 1974. The toilet brown rage.
I seen that and
was there duty? Dad stuffed your head in it?
No.
See,
But my dad was
not
married
cruel.
6 times.
Yeah, my dad had duty. My dad had just finished dinner. Big meatloaf.
Your dad was married 6 times?
6 times, and I've watched him when I left, when my mom sent me to live with my dad. I seen him do things to his other wives and stuff like that. And I'm not blaming my dad or anybody else or when I was a child, any of that. But the thing is that I was messed up on drugs when this happened.
See, if your dad had drowned you in that toilet, that girl would be alive still.
True. Or
Maybe you should arrest your father.
You know, I always kind of think that a guy who had his head shoved in the toilet and stuff and had bad things happen to him would be sort of extra sensitive to being nice to people.
No.
Or the 4 times that I tried to commit suicide as I was growing up, you know?
Too bad you didn't succeed. That girl would be alive.
He's another one. You know, the Gene Harris defense. I was trying to commit suicide when I did all these things.
No, I mean, this is when I was younger, growing up.
So how come you couldn't commit suicide?
When I was younger?
Yeah, how hard is it to commit suicide?
I tried. I got to it. I had took a whole bottle of aspirin. I'm allergic to them, and I stopped breathing on the beach, on the Belmar beach. And
who revived you?
I started in the Belmar police patrol on the 3-wheel buggies. They see me floating in the water and pulled me out and brought me back to life and put me in ICU. And there were some other times and stuff.
And with all these additional chances, you never pulled it together.
I did, Miss Quivers. I did. I went to AA. I went to NA. I did things. I got some clean...
So much for... I know that AA doesn't work.
It does work, Mr. Stern. It really does. There are people... Deborah, my fiance...
You have a fiance?
Well, no, her head is cut off. You mean your headless fiance?
She was in the program.
Oh, she was.
Of recovery, and I met her when she had 6 months clean, and I was just starting out. I was in a program, and she had come to the meeting at the program.
I want to point out something here. She broke a rule.
What? Being with another alcoholic?
Yeah, she was only 6 months clean. She should never have taken up a relationship with you.
I say when you're dating a guy like Lee, why bother getting clean? I mean, I'd rather drink.
But that's just the whole point.
Right. They say to wait at least a year before you get into any type of relationship or make any attempt to do anything like that.
Yeah.
But she had, when she passed away, she had almost 4 years clean. She had almost 4 years.
She didn't pass away, Lee. You took her out.
You passed her away.
But she had almost...
Well, you must be very proud of her that she had a couple of months clean.
You're jealous.
She had 4 years clean.
Oh, 4 years clean.
At the end.
Yeah, well, I guess the celebration got a little carried away.
But the thing is, I mean, I just called just to update you, but the thing was that, you know, I'm wrong, and whatever happens to me, I'm okay with that.
You know what?
Trying to...
What are we trying to get for you, the death penalty?
That's the issue at hand, okay?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll get it for you.
We're trying to bring it down, though.
Yeah, but imagine you're Deborah's father, and he's got to live with the fact that you did that to his daughter. You know what? You should volunteer for the gas chamber.
This is what I was going to say. You could make this all right, Lee, by going into court today, drop all objections, plead guilty to the worst offense, and get the death.
Lee, think about it. What do you want? You want a life in jail of collecting autographs from celebrities?
I mean, but do you take a life for a life?
Yeah, of course. Lee, listen to me. Lee, listen to me. If you were really sorry, go into court today. I'm being honest. Be like a man and say, look, I did a terrible thing. Would you guys please execute me?
I can respect you then.
I don't respect you. Let them kill you. And don't drag it out. Say, I want to be... Say, it's 1:30 now, I'm going to have a little lunch, and then kill me.
I want to have a nice light lunch.
Yeah, I mean, it's absurd already to go on with this life. And to be in prison...
you'll enjoy it because it's lethal injection.
Yeah, it's like heroin.
Well, I'm going to have problems when I get to prison anyway.
What if we give you a speedball like Coke and lethal injection, so you'll be high when you go out. Would that be fair?
They give you a couple different drugs in there when you get lethal injection.
Yeah, because I mean, you're doing the honorable thing by saying, okay, let's not waste time. Just kill me. And I would grant the.
What's your favorite drug?
Yeah. What do you like the best? Acid or coke? Coke.
Drug of choice was crack cocaine.
Yeah. We'll give you crack while you go out.
We'll let you crack until you're gone.
That's fair. That's your last request.
Crack snack, won't pop.
Say to the judge, look, I'll go right now to the gas station. I mean, I'll take the lethal injection in the courtroom, Your Honor. I'll roll up my sleeve right now. Just give me a little crack. Is that fair?
No, not really. But
don't you think you should volunteer to be killed? Be honest.
What I should do is...
Think about it. Deborah is dead, right? You cut her head off.
Almost.
True?
Yeah.
Did you cut Deborah's head off?
Almost, practically.
All right. For our purposes of this show, let's just say she was cut in half.
Okay.
Okay.
Shut up, Jackie. I hear him in the back.
That was Fred.
Oh.
Don't mess with Fred.
And you can even cry in court like OJ did yesterday, where they attached the fish line to your nose hairs and yanked them with your feet. That's how he did it. You know why OJ was crying in court yesterday?
What?
He saw his legal bill.
Oh.
Shapiro leaned over and showed it to him.
That's all they have to do.
I don't know. I'm bankrupt. I would love to be bankrupt. It happens.
They should have that's all they need is a ticker tape of how much they're charging.
Yeah, that's why he was crying. He's already seen Nicole dead. You know. But anyway, listen. Is your dad still alive?
Yeah.
Why don't we let him tell the judge we want him to hold your head in the toilet till you drown? That would be a great way to go out. No, but seriously, Lee, you sound like an honorable guy in the sense that you understand that you've done wrong. That you've done
You're giving him a little too much credit. It's not like he ever turned himself in. He had to be caught.
All right, Lucy, but he's not a schmuck. I mean, you try to get away with it. Okay.
See, the way you see it, no. See, I didn't try to get away with it because they were already calling back east to New Jersey and New York for me.
Right, you just went out on a spree. You went out on a spree.
I never ran. I just went up to San Francisco
for vacation
and got totally cracked out and just waited for an end.
You robbed her parents.
What's that?
You robbed her parents.
No, I didn't.
For the getaway money?
No.
Didn't you break into her father's office?
Hey, he's not a really bad guy, Robin.
The 459 that I did was our next door neighbor's house.
Yeah, he did the next door neighbor's house. In all fairness, Robin.
Better.
Yeah. Listen, Lee, this is my suggestion. You know you've done wrong. The idea of being an autograph hound from jail sounds absurd. You know what I mean? First of all, I know I get picture requests all the time from guys in jail, and I go, I don't send pictures out. But if I was going to send pictures out, it wouldn't be the guys in jail who could stare at my picture and obsess on it.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what's funny. I wrote I did all these interviews, and one of them came out in that, USA Weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm getting all these letters from prisoners who think I must be a soft touch.
Yeah, right. Hey, you let your father out, you. You let me get to you. You got to date a prisoner.
And they're all, in there
You're a beautiful lady.
of mistakes.
Yeah, right. I get 100 letters from prisoners a day because they're all in there on a mistake. Howard, I know everybody writes you about a mistake, but I'm in here on a mistake.
And then they write, also what they write is, I am not interested in you because you're a celebrity.
Yeah. Yeah.
I truly value you as a person, and I would really like to get to know you and be a friend.
And I'm due for parole in a year, and I'd like to move into your apartment when I get out.
Right. I've only been out of the world for 9 years.
Why don't you bring some of those love letters in? My lady, I saw you on the TV, and I got to tell you, you is a lovely lady. She gets letters from the sickest guys.
Oh, I got this one guy writing me now. He writes almost every week begging me to respond.
Oh, wait a second. He has 1 minute left.
Oh.
Hey, Lee. Hey, Lee.
Is he still there?
Oh, nuts. I'm going to convince Lee to have himself killed. Hold on.
He'll call right back.
Okay. Let me take a break, and when we get back, I'll get Lee to go into the court today and ask to be killed.
Okay.
I think I almost got him.
We almost have him convinced.
Yeah, we're gonna do. Is it San Jose? Is he listens from?
I think so. Yeah.
We're gonna do San Jose a big favor. We're gonna save the taxpayers a lot of money. We get old Lee to kill himself. Your Honor.
I love how all these guys who go to jail become lawyers and like they're police. They now know the 459 that I did.
459. So it's not so bad when you do a 459. It's like instead of saying you're eating a cow, you call it steak. To make it seem more palatable.
Right.
Yeah, I did a 459.
What's cutting off somebody's head's got to be like number one.
Yeah. If robbing your parents' neighbor's house is a 459, cutting off the head is definitely up there in the top 5. Oh, there's Lee. Hold on, I got him. Hey, Lee.
Yeah, it says 1 minute, but it isn't 1 minute.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take that up with the court. that ain't right, man. Attica. Hey, Lee.
Yeah.
Listen to my argument.
Okay.
It's not even an argument. I think you're pretty reasonable, and you'll see things my way. Forget what your lawyer tells you.
Okay.
For 1 second, because you're a pretty smart guy.
He's smarter, though.
In a way. They don't know everything.
He just made his law firm larger, so he's doing pretty good.
You know what? I got 20 lawyers, and I'm going to tell you something. Each one of them, I got to tell them what to do.
Yeah,
none of them are self-starters.
So from where he came from, he started out picking prunes and stuff like that in the fields.
Yeah, well, you had your head in the toilet, okay?
And he started picking stuff to go to college, prunes and working in the fields.
You got a lawyer who picks prunes? I didn't even know.
he's a Mexican attorney.
Oh, well, they're very...
Prunes grow on trees.
Not prunes.
Mexicans are very good
strawberries
attorneys.
and stuff like that.
In all seriousness.
What?
I don't want to say anything bad.
Oh.
I'm afraid. Mexicans make very good attorneys. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, I read your thing about Selena. It was on the news. I was
framed. Like you, that was a 413.
I got a lot of static over that on
my lawyer, F. Lee Burrito, is telling me not to cop a plea.
The Frito Bandito.
The Frito Bandito I just hired to represent me on that.
And that was like Selena.
Hey, do me a favor. Before they electrocute you, don't eat prunes. I don't know if you're a lawyer. Listen, I'm sure your lawyer's fine and everything, but listen to me. In all fairness, they got you on this one. You've confessed. You cut off Debbie's head. Her parents are upset. Everyone's upset. The right thing to do is to go into court today. Just listen to me. Be a man. Say, look, Your Honor, the jig is up. I'm not going to waste the court's time. I'm asking you if I could just be executed as soon as possible. I confess.
I'm guilty.
I don't want a life of asking celebrities for autographs from prison. I guarantee you the most you're going to get is 2. Probably like Charlie Sheen will send you one.
I got a couple. I got, Roger Mosley from Magnum P.I.
I mean, that's not a celebrity. Is that the guy who played the butler?
No, he was the black guy.
Oh, for God's sake. That's who you got?
I was able to speak to Paul Rodriguez.
Oh, you were?
The comedian who's better than...
What happened? Like Paul Rodriguez called you?
No, I called him on another radio station here in the Bay Area, Hot 97.7, The Doghouse.
I don't know what that is.
It's a morning program. It's called The Doghouse.
What, they try to be like me or something?
No, they play hip-hop. No, nothing like you. They play hip-hop and top 40 and stuff like that.
And what did Paul Rodriguez tell you?
Nothing. I just talked to him and asked him for his autograph.
Yeah, he's pretty sympathetic to prisoners.
Yeah, he's performed in prison.
Yeah. Why, I don't know, but he digs them.
He performs up in San Quentin a lot.
Yeah, he likes those guys. He relates to them. I don't know, in some way. I like Paul Rodriguez, but...
I've never understood that.
Yeah, he's a real funny comedian, but I don't know. My idea, there's a lot of sick kids who could probably use entertainment over some whacked-out prisoners.
And I got to talk to Derek Dees from the 49ers.
Well, that's a pretty funny special he does from the prison. Did you see it?
I can't watch it.
It's funny.
Because I don't support that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I have trouble, looking at those guys and going, why are they getting free entertainment?
He's making them laugh. Oh, that's wonderful.
Great. Most of these guys
Let's talk to their victims.
Yeah, they're not laughing. I'm not sure why he's making them happy, but that's something for him to answer. Anyway, so, Lee.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to tell you is, getting the autograph of the black guy from Magnum P.I. shows even this new career is not going very well, and it's not going to occupy a lot of your time in prison.
And how long before you get disgruntled and quit?
If you do the right thing, in fact, if you do the right thing, we're going to request of the judge that you can even be executed while you're on the air with us. All right, while we're talking to you on the phone.
I thought you were going to come down there and be present.
I thought you wanted to give him the juice.
Oh, I'd love to. I'd love to inject you. I would be honored. But you got to ask the judge. Say, listen, Judge, I am willing right now not to waste the court's time, no trial, nothing. We're going to save tons of money. I want to just have a little crack in me while I go, and Howard Stern give the injection.
And that might get you off, actually.
They might think you're crazy. I'm telling you, you might get an insanity defense. Howard Stern, what are you, crazy? That man can't even inject an orange, let alone a human being. He might miss the vein.
That could put you over the top.
Yeah. Lee, seriously, would you go in and ask the judge if you can be executed?
Seriously?
Yeah.
All joke aside, no.
Why?
The reason why is because...
because you're a sniveling coward.
No, I came on the air with y'all.
No, but did Debbie did Debbie deserve what she got? Seriously.
No, she didn't.
All right. Right. She did not deserve what she got. Don't you think you deserve to die?
I deserve whatever justice that the court
come on.
and the people of the state of California.
Oh, you're going to put everyone through a whole party here.
I mean, it's up...
Lee, listen
Let
to
me
me.
ask you
Do
something,
the right
Lee.
thing.
Yes, Ms. Clifford.
Is it possible that you could get the death penalty for this crime?
Yes.
Then that's what the people of California want.
Everyone wants it. You know what? There are people outside of California right now who want you to die.
I know, but do you know, I mean, people do make mistakes, and I know that...
This is a bad
That's
one.
the ultimate
Lee,
mistake, is
too
taking
bad.
somebody else's life.
Debbie can't even make a mistake now.
I know that, Mr. Stern, and she leaves behind a little son, too.
She leaves behind a little son, so what does that mean?
We don't need you around.
You're making it worse.
That means that, you know, he's going to be screwed up the rest of his life.
Yeah, so don't you think it would help the little son knowing you're dead? I mean, think about the kid.
I don't know.
I'll have the trial right now. Here it is.
If
Give me
it
some
came-
Perry Mason
if it
music.
came to-
Lee, did you kill Debbie?
If it came to...
Did you kill Debbie?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you chop off her head?
Yeah, but I was...
Does she have a little son?
Yes, she does.
All right. Do you think that it's going to traumatize the little son knowing that you are not dead?
He's already traumatized.
He's already traumatized. You'll be worse traumatized knowing you're still alive. The court finds you guilty. You are sentenced to lethal injection by Howard Stern.
If Tomas wanted, I would...
That's how it's going to go. So do the manly thing. Make a little news before you go and say, hey, here's a stand-up guy.
I'd let little Tomas make that decision.
Tomas?
Yeah.
That's Thomas, pal. You're in America.
Tomas. He's Italian.
No. All right, listen to me. Little Tomas hates your guts. You know that. And the right thing to do to little Tomas, so he can end his nightmare, is that his mommy's slayer is dead.
And little Tomas, you know, is too young to make this decision. That's why you want to leave it in his hands.
Right. I'm telling you, I'm going to... listen, let's avoid all the crap. You're definitely going to get the death sentence. If you go in, you're a guy who likes publicity. If you go in and say, hey,
That's
look...
not true neither. But...
Listen, if you go to the judge and say, listen, Judge, let's skip all the nonsense here. Let Howard Stern execute me. In 2 seconds, the trial's over. Listen, unless you want to drag this thing out.
Which he does.
Do you want to drag it out?
No,
And you're never going to get any publicity dragging it out. You go in and say, hey, I want to be executed by Howard Stern, you're going to be front-page news.
There'll be people who will actually try to stop you from doing it.
You're going to be bigger than O.J.
There's organization. But the reason why...
There's organization.
The first time was to get your autograph.
Tell me about organization. They got every one of them after me.
I know.
You understand what I'm saying? Do me a favor. Think about it today. You will make news headlines all over the world. It will be the biggest thing.
And you'll be paying for your crime, which is what you want to do.
Yeah, and you want to do the right thing for Tomas and for Debbie and Debbie's family.
Well,
do the right thing.
Don't you think, Miss Quivers, that...
No, don't ask me.
No,
I know, but
I'm advising you now.
On a serious side, Mr. Stern, Miss Quivers,
I'm F. Lee Taco now. You listen to me.
For 1 minute, a serious side here, okay? When a person does something like that,
yes.
Okay, and they know that they've made the mistake,
That's right.
Tell everybody they've made the mistake.
You're a man for saying it. Go ahead. You're not like O.J. trying to lie.
If they don't give me, if they decide not to give me the death penalty.
No, I'm telling you. Listen.
I know, but
Lee,
listen.
let me tell you something.
Lee, they're gonna give you the. They're gonna give you the death penalty. No, they are. And what if they don't? What are you going to face? A life of making phone calls from your jail cell? No. I'm not going to take your calls anymore.
You won't be able to call this freely in prison.
No.
You can only call once a month.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're not going to have any kind of life. Well, how are you going to collect autographs? As it is, you've got full phone privileges right now, and the only autograph you got is the black guy from Magnum P.I. I mean, think about you're going to be a failure at that, too. You failed at everything in life. And the only successful thing you've ever done is kill Debbie, and now it's time to go out in a blaze of glory. By saying, hey, Judge, kill me, and make it headlines by saying, I want Howard Stern to execute me.
But once again, Lee has duped himself into believing he can do better.
Yeah.
You have never done better, Lee.
And you know what's the sad part, Lee? You're going to get the death sentence, and then no one's going to talk to you because it's going to be so boring the way you're going to get it.
Right.
Do it in like a blaze of glory, like when you killed Debbie, your big moment of success.
And then you ran around and had the spree.
Yeah.
It's not a big moment. You know, when you take somebody's like that.
Oh, yes. To you it is. It's the only thing you succeeded at. Lee, be honest.
This is your
pattern.
pattern.
I had a beautiful daughter. I had a daughter.
Where is your daughter?
She's in Pennsylvania.
Hiding from you?
No, she's with her mom.
And do her a favor. If you tell the judge you want to off yourself, that'll be doing your daughter a favor too. She can't be proud of you.
Hold on,
okay. Well, he's discussing his
counsel is talking to him.
I think it's a big black guy waiting to use the phone.
CO just walking by.
Oh, CO?
Cheech.
Hey, let me talk to Cheech.
Skeets.
Tell Skeets you're on the radio.
Sheets. CO. Yeah.
What's a CO?
A CO, deputy.
Corrections officer.
Oh. Sorry, I haven't been in prison. I'm not Paul Rodriguez. I don't perform in prison.
Yes.
I don't know. All right, I drew a blank.
Just walking by, he ran into the...
Ask him if he wants to be on the air. I got to ask him a question.
He went down the tier. Let me see. Let me get my spyglass out.
Oh, he's got a little mirror so he can see what's going on down there.
Oh, he's sticking the mirror through the bar.
Hey, he already went down the end of the tier. I don't want to wake everybody up.
Even the CEOs have, like, prison names.
That's his name, Sheets.
Oh, his name is Sheets.
Yeah, that's his real name.
Oh, yeah, I know a guy named Sheets. I think Fred's got the sheets. Had a burrito last night. I think he ate some Pizza Hut.
Cheese.
All right, dude. I got to go, man. Do the right thing and make headlines today, okay, pal? You got your chance to make headlines. Do it. Come on, you're a fan of the show. Go in there and mention Howard Stern at least in some respect, and you know, say you might want to be executed by him. See if you want to cut a deal with this.
I'll yell out Baba Booey when I go to court today.
All right, very good.
Hey, Mr. Stern, can I speak to Gary real quick?
Yeah, hold on. Okay. All right, that's Lee.
You always got business to do after the show.
Okay, I have business. I got business to do right now. We'll be back right after this.